Hi, and welcome back to No Strategy Guide. This is the Stanley Parable with Corey and Ed.
Yeah, that's us. Deal with it.
Adventure Line!
You know what, Stanley? I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're
Nothing.
intelligent people, right?
No,
Why
we're
can't
not.
we make up our own story?
Oh, dear God.
Dude,
Are
I
you
was
serious?
living in an office doing exactly what
This
I was
sounds
told.
perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know.
This
How about
direction.
this direction?
Oh. I don't like that we chose the same direction. Pick a different one.
Tough shit.
Aww.
Oh,
Now,
look at this
yes,
bland
this
hallway.
is exciting. Just
Yes,
me
these
and Stanley
beige
forging a new
walls and
path,
brown
a new
carpet.
Story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be?
It's a circle.
Go wild. Use your imagination.
Is
Whatever it might be, Stanley, I'm ready for it.
Haha, fuck you.
Oh, no,
Ooh.
not you again. Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome
I love
new
all the
story.
trademarks.
No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine.
Maybe I made the line narrator.
Shh. It
Got it.
knows our secrets.
That would actually explain a lot about where the line went.
Yes, it does.
Yes! I want to follow the line.
A choice. We get to make a decision.
To
From
broom.
here, the story is in our control. How important we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact,
This
I
one.
believe I need a minute to think here.
No.
Just walk in circles for a minute. Okay, so I know that each door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere, the place where we're
Oh.
trying to go, there must be
Hooray.
a reverse door that leads here.
There we go.
And then
Much
in
better.
turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's
All right.
origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right
is the correct one.
Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits.
All right.
Oh.
Whoa.
Oh, hold up, what's this?
The confusion ending.
Confusion ending. You're telling me
The narrator is
that's all
gone
this
after a
is?
long time.
It's all
Stanley
one
dies.
giant ending, and we're supposed to restart the game what, eight times? That's really how all this goes? It's all
Forgets about previous
determined?
restarts.
So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing, wall.
Whoa.
Who consulted me?
By the way, didn't matter which
cool.
door you took.
Decide. Why don't I get a say in all of this? Is it really?
Yes, what isn't the
No, it
narrator
can't
going
be.
to say in this?
I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget
You've
what's
been
going on.
playing the
I don't
confusion
want to be
ending for
trapped
this
like
much
this.
time.
I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it.
Game restarts on its own.
And the timer
somewhere. Whoa.
stopped. Does that mean, did we do it? Did we break the cycle? The, whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know? Will someone come for us? Will something happen? So, okay. I guess now just wait. You know, I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story. Wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey.
I like
They're
how the
always saying
narrator
that
is
life about
experiencing the
journey
same,
and not the destination.
like,
So
weird
I hope that's where we are right
meta
now.
shit that we are.
We'll find
Yeah,
out, won't
in
we?
this branch.
Eventually.
Yeah.
Well, in the meantime,
Oh,
It's supposed to make that noise.
that was creepy. I don't like it.
all of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
He's
Stanley
forgotten.
decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed
okay.
a memo.
But will the story still be screwed up if the narrator
No.
doesn't? Okay.
You've done the confusion ending. Good job.
But
When
I
Stanley
want
came
Stanley
to a set
to
of
die.
two open doors,
There's
he entered
other
the
endings
door
where he
with that.
dies. But I've said so much.
Okay, so
This
Went
was
through
not
here.
the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew
Whatever,
it perfectly
narrator, I'm
well.
a free-willed
Perhaps he
man.
wanted to stop by the employee lounge first.
Stanley
just to
cannot be
admire it.
controlled by you.
The lounge was sublime.
I mean,
a work of art.
ultimately, yeah,
But
but
eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Did he?
And
did, but he
detoured
skipped the
through
elevator this
maintenance
time.
section,
Whoa,
walked
so
straight ahead to
saucy.
the opposite door and got back on track.
Nice.
Yet there was not a single person here either.
Tips for not
Feeling
getting
a
fired.
wave
Talk
of
less. Do
disbelief,
unbelievably amazing
Stanley
work all the
decided to
time,
go
every
up
day,
to his
with no
boss's
expectation
office,
of promotion
hoping
or
he might find
recognition.
an answer there.
Okay.
And don't get fired.
Oh. Onward.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
You haven't even seen the mind control room.
Yes.
I'm safe here. The narrator doesn't control me here.
I'm
He's silent.
I don't know. I just like getting into small, dark places.
But Stanley just couldn't
Yeah,
do it.
yeah, about that.
He considered the possibility of facing his boss.
The police are
Admitting he
looking
had
for
left his post during work hours, he might be fired.
It's fine.
for
There are
that.
lots of small,
And in
dark
such
places.
a competitive economy, why had he taken
Very
the
Just saying
important.
you may
All
want to
because
find
he
one.
believed everyone had vanished. His boss would
Don't
think he
look
was
for
crazy.
me under my house.
And then something occurred.
You hear
to
me,
Stanley.
police?
Maybe. He thought
I'm
to
not
himself,
there.
Maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single
Am I
moment
going in a
for
circle?
no reason at all.
Maybe.
None of it made any logical sense.
I'm going in a circle.
And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors
also,
close
how
automatically
did this
behind
car
him
get
wherever
here?
he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue.
I've
He
been
just
addicted to
hadn't found the
cocaine
words
for
it.
years.
I'm dreaming! He yelled. This is all a dream.
I didn't yell that.
What a relief Stanley felt.
Thank God
to
the
have
narrator
finally
speaks
found
for
an
you.
answer, an
So that you can
explanation.
yell things.
His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my
boring real-life job pushing buttons.
I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun.
Dude.
And Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself.
What if I'm conscious?
sooner. Why is there a voice in
my
my
head
head
dictating everything I'm
dictating
doing and
everything
thinking?
that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing
you,
me,
but you're right, I was
thinking
describing
about
my
how
thoughts,
it's
you thought.
describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it
But
be?
how did I
Was
fly?
Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he
I
doesn't
can
have to take
fly
responsibility
and
for
manifest space.
Stanley is
It's not
as
a
awake
dream.
right now.
I'm a
as he's ever been in his
superhero.
life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too.
Listen,
surely,
you meta
surely,
nerd.
If he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
Yeah.
Cue My Chemical Romance.
Ugh, please don't.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone wake me up. My
I'm
name
not
is Stanley.
okay.
I have a boss. I have an office.
When I was
am real.
a young
Please,
boy,
can someone tell me I am real.
my father
I must be real. I
took
must
me
be.
into
Can
the
anyone
city.
hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I?
Whoa.
And everything went black.
Oh, ooh. This is a little jarring. Where am I?
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
The Mariella Parable.
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered
walked
her
to a place of
belongings,
work.
and walked to her
Whoa.
place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And
There
although
you
she
go.
had soon
You
turned
killed
to
yourself
call
again.
for an ambulance,
Yes.
for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew.
I think the confusion
Everyone
ending is
knows
the
what
only
crazy
ending
people
you've managed to
look like.
achieve thus
And
far
in
where you
that
didn't kill
moment,
yourself.
She thought to herself how lucky
Yeah.
she was to be normal.
What's
I
the
am
point in
safe.
not dying at the
I
end?
am in control of my mind. I know what is
I don't
real
know.
and
Living,
what isn't.
being happy.
I do like
It
that
was
they have just
comforting to
one
think
more
this,
human
and in a
model in
certain
this game.
way,
And like
seeing
that's it.
this man made her feel better.
It doesn't even
Then
look
she
like she's
remembered the
putting her
meeting she
hand
had
to her
scheduled
mouth,
for that
like
day. The very
hiding her
important
face.
people
like,
whose
oh god, this
impressions
is
of her
horrible.
would
It's more like
affect
she's
her career,
pinching the bridge
and
of her
by
nose. Like,
extension,
oh god,
the
Stanley
You're
again.
kidding me.
no time
How
for
many
this.
times
So it
must
was
we go
only a
through
moment
this?
that she stood there, staring down.
Mariella is your wife. She
And then she
cannot
turned
believe what
around.
the hell she's looking at. Honestly, Stanley.
The end is never the end, is never the end, is never the end.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
No, it's Sunday and the office is closed on Sunday, you twit.
When
Listen
Stanley
up,
came to a set
idiot.
of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Oh my god. You're listening.
We only have a couple minutes left in the episode,
Yet
so I
there
think
was
I'm
not
going to
a
do
single person
the
here
obedient
either.
ending.
Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Hope coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
I do not apologize.
As you shouldn't. That was delicious.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of
Just do it,
any
2845.
human life. What could it mean? Stanley wondered aloud to nobody. Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy.
Healthy.
So he
So relax.
relaxed for a few moments with some calming new age music.
Playing some sweet, sweet Enya.
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward
this is fucking
into
rad.
the opened passageway.
Hop in the hole. Hop in the hole.
Stop the hole. Go down. I just want to fly.
I want to be a real boy. One of my favorite moments in Shrek 2 is when they're fighting over the wand and Pinocchio becomes a real boy for like 5 seconds.
Yay!
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Alright, fine. Whoa.
There's a button. What does it do?
Poosh.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold?
Oh, there's
Stanley
the
thought to
catwalk. I
himself.
was gonna say, there
Did
should
he
be
have
one
the
here.
strength to find out?
And behind it is a wormhole that goes to various parts of the office.
Somebody who's been smoking a lot. This is gross. They should be fired.
You're going backwards.
Whoa.
Like the kind of backwards that it won't let you do. Go back.
Okay, so go off to the right here.
Yes. Obey.
Button.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley...
So many individuals that we're
monitored
not
in
going to
this
show you.
place where freedom meant nothing.
And this is why we don't actually film our faces when we do this. It takes away our souls and freedom.
I'm not
This
sure that's
mind
true.
control facility,
is.
It was too horrible to
believe.
believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason
Was
he
he
was
still
happy with his
being
boring
controlled?
job? That his emotions
The
had
fact
been
that he's
manipulated
that
to
he has a
accept it
narrator
blindly?
somehow suspicious.
No.
I'll
He
be honest,
refused
I
to
wish
believe
I
it.
had a narrator
He
for my
couldn't
boring
accept
life.
it. His own life in someone else's
Your
control.
life's exciting. You get to watch
Never.
me kill myself
It
every
was
5 minutes.
unthinkable,
That is
wasn't
pretty
it? Was it even possible?
Things
Had
that
he
are
truly
satisfying on a
spent his
deep
entire
personal
life
level.
utterly blind to the
Watching
world?
Corey die.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working.
Is this
all
the plot
it
of the movie
monitored and
Inside Out?
commanded from this very
Yes.
And as the cold
No, that's the
wind
angry button. Don't press that button.
began to set
Press
in,
the angry
Stanley
button.
decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he,
So he killed
would
the narrator.
dismantle the controls once and for all.
But then, what
How
will
do I
Lewis
press
Black do?
What?
Lewis Black did the voice of anger.
Of anger. Okay. I thought you were saying he was the voice of this narrator. I was like, he is not. You're lying to me.
Though that would be impressive voice acting on Lewis Black's part.
It would be really incredible.
And when
System
at last he
power.
found the source of the...
I killed the narrator. He stopped.
You kind of did. But that's what the narrator's going to tell you to do anyway.
Shush. I have free will, okay?
blackness.
Damn
and
it.
a rising chill of uncertainty.
You have free will. You did exactly what he told
Was
you to
it over?
do because you chose to.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is your ending.
He had won. He had defeated the machine. Unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was
But
mere
now who am I going to
moments
defy?
away. And yet, even as the immense
No
door
one.
slowly
There's
opened,
no one to defy
Stanley
anymore.
reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved.
This is what happiness looks like
Where
to
had
other
his
people.
co-workers gone?
But
How
what
had
do
he
you
been
do
freed
on a
from
Sunday
the
afternoon?
What other mysteries did this strange
There's still
building
sidewalks
hold?
to shit on.
But as sunlight streamed into
It's
the
not
chamber, he
passerbys.
realized none of this mattered to him. For it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness.
By God, I've just
Perhaps his
gotten the
goal
end
had
of the
not been to
Truman Show.
understand.
Yeah, pretty much.
No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel.
Oh my God, open
Whatever
the
life
door.
lives,
No,
it will
the narrator has to tell you what your
that was
ending
all
is.
he needed to know.
Look at this
It was
beautiful,
perhaps
lush ending you found.
Stanley stepped through the open door.
Almost.
Stanley stepped through the open. Thank you.
Stanley felt the cool breeze
No,
upon his
go
skin.
left.
the
I
ending.
want you to go
The
forward.
feeling
Go
of
left.
liberation.
Stop it.
The immense possibility of the new path.
You've already
before him.
accepted obedience.
This was
God damn
exactly
it.
the way. Right now.
I will
the
never
things
accept
were meant to
obedience.
happen.
It leads to
And
That
Stanley
things were meant to
was
happen.
happy.
it leads to
Stanley was
happiness. I
high
can't
off
do
of
this
that.
again.
So many drugs.
All
Beat the game. I did it.
Congrats.
And now it starts again.
Because the end is never the end, is never the end, is never the end.
That's fine though, because we're done with the episode.
Fuck you,
Stanley
game.
simply couldn't handle the pressure. What if he had to make a decision?
Thank you
What
for
if a
joining us.
crucial
Like,
outcome
comment, and
fell under
subscribe.
his
We'll see you next time.
responsibility?
And we'll
He had
die.
never been trained for that.
Yeah, we will.